It was a night to remember at the Civitas Metropolitano for Atlético de Madrid and their fans to open up their home campaign after a 2-2 draw with Villarreal on match day 1. Match day 2, they welcomed Girona to town, but before they did that, they acknowledged everybody who won a trophy or a medal over the summer, not just the Atleti players like Pablo Barrios, like Julian Alvarez, but also the two Girona players, Miguel and Abel Ruiz, who won gold along with Pablo Barrios at the Olympic Games in Paris. There's also a moment of silence for the Atleti fans who lost their lives over the course of the last season. And once we got into game mode, the game felt pretty broken, especially for the majority of the first half. There were a few moments here and there, like Julian Alvarez getting an opportunity to put one on target, but both teams were searching, and they were searching throughout this game to try and come up with something special. It would take a couple of mistakes for the game to break open, but in terms of straight talent, execution, and tactics, this game didn't have that. There were plenty of moments like this. Samuel Lino getting into a good position. He was in good positions on several occasions on this night. Both sides were playing a bit more chess in the first half, just trying to feel each other out again. Because it's so early in the year, both teams are trying to figure out who they are as a squad, establishing chemistry with one another. This is Lino again with a similar effort to the first one. Paulo Gazzaniga making the stop. He would be a big part of this game, Gazzaniga, moving forward, and from his perspective, for all the wrong reasons. And Girona had a lot of the ball in the first half too. We're showing you the Atleti chances because these are the ones that came the closest to a potential goal. But again, the closest, these are as close as we got. Girona couldn't really break through any of the lines to get into the final third and create from them. Visitors opening up their season with 2 straight games on the road. They'll finally get to go home and play at Montilivi for match day 3. But match day 2, one of the toughest places to play. Half chance perhaps for Abel Ruiz, and then another half chance for Oriol Romeu, who started his second straight game in what is now his second stint with the club. They were looking for crosses, which is a lot of their game, Girona, but Atleti defended it well, many times with 5 at the back. This was the mistake that led to the first goal. It's a harmless clearance from Lenormand, but Gazzaniga comes too far out. And a handball just outside of the box could have been considered for a red, but the referee, Martinez Munuera, decided it wasn't an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. That Daley Blind had the runner covered. Gazzaniga, though, gets carded, which sets up a free kick right there on the outskirts of the box. You could have made the argument that it was enough for a red card. It was a mistake by Gazzaniga. He knew it right away, too. Misread the bounce. Antoine Griezmann stepped up for the free kick, and he does what he always does. Gives himself a chance. First goal of the season for Griezmann, who celebrates in style and puts Atleti in the lead, a lead that they would not even come close to relinquishing. A well-taken free kick, one that took a couple of bounces on the way to hitting the back of the net. First off of Arnau Martinez, and then off of Gazzaniga. Both of them actually got a slight touch to it. There was Arnau's touch, and then Gazzaniga couldn't keep it out. See the Arnau touch a little bit clearer. A bright start to this game, sort of against the run of play. There wasn't really a run of play. There just weren't goal-scoring chances. So you can say in that respect it was against the run of play. Atleti take the 1-0 lead, and halftime was just around the corner, although Girona tried to respond quickly. This is immediately following the goal. This is what they did a lot last year. They came back and scored right away on the other end. Abel Ruiz was in here with a chance, a strike on goal that Oblak had to save. It was a good chance for Ruiz, who got his second straight start. He's one of a number of strikers who Girona will look to use throughout the course of this very congested season, and Atleti almost responded with a second just before halftime. Riquelme's angle was tight. Did what he could, the former Girona loanee. And this little flurry at the end of the half gave us hope that the second half would be different. Maybe the best chance of the game for Girona right there. Ruiz again wanted it on his right foot. Didn't have a choice though, had to take it on his left. That was one of the best chances for them. Into the second half we go. And it would be a moment for Marcos Llorente that started with that pass from Antoine Griezmann, and another moment to forget for Paulo Gazzaniga. Nobody picks up Llorente, so he says he'll have a go, and watch this. Gazzaniga lets it slip through his fingers. He can't do anything to stop it, and Atleti double their lead. 5 minutes onto the other side of the halftime whistle. Scored a handful of goals last year, Llorente. This pass from Griezmann here, that counts as an assist. Of course it does. And Llorente just figured, why not? We'll give it a whirl, and that's why. Just thought to have a hit. And it surprised everybody because that's the type of shot hit right at the keeper that everyone expects to be saved. Not the case. Llorente celebrates. And then we saw some debuts, including the debut of Conor Gallagher, who made his way in for the first time in an Atlético de Madrid uniform. We also saw the debut of Bojan Mijovski, the North Macedonian for Girona. Brian Gil started this game and struggled to find the target. It's a case for Girona all night long, really. And especially once they went down 2-0, the game seemed long gone. There was no way back in for them. It was a professional performance for Atleti. Girona had a number of corners. Nearly reached double digits with their corner total, but they just weren't able to make it happen in the end. Blind with a chance here for Mijovski on his debut, and then Miguel follows it up by skying it into the 50th row. Victor Sigankov on his season debut came off. Iker Almena, who provided the assist for Girona on match day 1, came in. But Reinildo came in at the same time as him, and Almena was bottled by Reinildo the entire time that he was out there. Still, Girona tried to make amends somehow. There was a claim of a handball there, and it was Mijovski's first shot on target as a member of Girona Football Club. This was the claim of the handball. It was unheard because Barrios' arm was in a natural position. Griezmann, who scored the goal, and Julian Alvarez came off. We saw Correa and Sordot make their way on. So all 4 new signings appeared for Atleti at home in front of the fans. Alvarez put in a good shift. And once those two substitutions were made, there were chances, including that one where maybe Conor Gallagher would have preferred a shot. It was his best chance to intervene on the scoreline. Tried for the cutback instead. And then the last moment for Atleti to cap it off came from the long run of Pablo Barrios, the layoff to Llorente, and then an unlikely goal scorer, Koke, gets his first goal since March of 22, 3 seasons ago. He caps the night with a goal in stoppage time. No doubt celebrating because we don't see him score too many over his long, illustrious Atlético de Madrid career. But it works to send the home fans home happy. At that point, Girona were fully out of gas, and Pablo Barrios, who's played 90 minutes in each of the first 2 games, somehow manages to make that full-length run. And Llorente gets a goal and an assist, just like Griezmann. Really well taken. And the icing on the cake in a home victory for a side who might be competing for a La Liga title this season. A long way to go, but they've started the season well. A tough draw on the road, followed by a convincing win at home. They win it at the Civitas Metropolitano. Final score, Atlético de Madrid 3, Girona 0.